You wanted to tell us how last night at Cabaret.
So the guy had a really nice body, and I applaud him for that. And he had a booty everywhere. And do he got the booty?
He do.
All right, ready and action.
So welcome to Chicks Dig Flicks this week, guys.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. Woo woo.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah, so introducing ourselves, I'm Abby.
I'm Anna.
I'm Maya.
As always, we're Chicks Dig Flicks. Woo woo. This week we're again in mud after our tryst into my home last week.
Tryst. We absconded.
We absconded.
You always like to use that word.
I know, it's a good word. It's a good word.
It's a good word.
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
Don't make fun of me. All right, so I guess we could just kind of head on into the news.
Into the news.
Yeah, into the news.
Okay. Into the news.
So I guess our first piece of news is the talks of Hunger Games catching fire. It's gonna blow up. Where did I put it? Hold on. Can Hunger Games Catching Fire cross 175 million in North American debut? This is from the Hollywood Reporter. The sequel is tracking to score the number 2 3-day opening of all time after the 207.4 million earned by the Avengers.
How do they know?
So, like, because they're tracking, I think, how marketing and everything goes and, like, how it's receiving. But like it's really
also pre-ticket sales.
Yeah, pre-ticket sales has been huge. It's like sold out in so many different places,
really?
And also like IMAX because you favor an IMAX and these things. But also like it's really interesting how Lionsgate, when the first Hunger Games movie came out, they were projecting it was going to make between 110 to 120 million dollars first weekend, but it made over 150 million dollars this first weekend. So it's like a huge thing. So now everyone's thinking it's going to. Even though Lionsgate insiders are thinking about 140 million to 150, they're going to think about crossing 175 million, which is going to be maybe a little bit more than Iron Man 3 did this year.
Yeah, which some people are like, no, it'll be a sad day on Earth if it crosses Iron Man 3. And I'm just like, why can't a woman be as cool as your man lead?
Well, I hope it's better than Iron Man 3. I had problems with it.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 was like not that great.
But it's going to make, it's interesting because it's going to make more than, Twilight. Like, I think the first one made more than what, like, I think 2 or 3 of the Twilight movies made over its whole, debut. So... Yeah, I'm so excited for this film.
Me too. And then the trailer, which we will be maybe gazing at later. No spoilers.
No spoilers for our episode. Yeah, for our podcast
for the
episode.
podcast that you're listening to later in the podcast.
Do people care about spoilers for Chicks Dig Flicks?
I don't know, man. I'm excited because we get to maybe see. I have spoiler. Also, I've already seen the trailer.
Me too.
Me too.
We get to see the a little bit of inside the arena, which I'm excited about because we didn't get to see that in any of the other trailers.
And it's interesting how they market that. Their marketing team has done really well this year, where they market it towards when it's at the World Series. And that's more projected, like a lot of male viewers were watching that, and then they have all the basically action-y stuff to show, and everyone's gonna be like, okay, now I want to see this film, and you're like, yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely kudos to the marketing team of Catching Fire because it's all a lot of people are talking about. I'm excited. When does it come out?
November 22nd.
Ooh,
so clearly they didn't do that good of a marketing.
It's less than 20 days. And I'm dying.
I like that you're really good marketing. When did it come out again? I can't remember. I don't think they ever said that.
I'm the Hunger Games expert, everyone. So come to me if you need anything about the Hunger Games.
Or if you need a trailer reenactment.
Yeah, a trailer reenactment, because I do.
We were watching Ender's Game last night. Maya says every single word.
First teaser trailer out, and I was like, because of her. They all pose a threat. Because of her. They all think they're invincible.
Not quietly either. I'm pretty sure everyone in the theater was like...
Pretty sure everyone heard me.
Yeah. If you just need to know a lot about how much Katniss and Peeta should forever be together, you can...
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
You could talk to me.
Team Gale.
Because obviously...
Team Gale.
Everyone should know that.
We just high-fived, listeners.
Everyone should know that Maya does have a full-size cardboard cutout of Gail in her room. It scares me every single time I go in there.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Costs $10, and I'm trying to get a pita.
And then they can make out.
So they can make out. Keys. Anyway.
Okay,
Right.
so next piece of news is...
Addams Family animated movie.
Yeah, there's going to be an Addams Family animated movie at MGM. I'm so excited. I love
Oh,
the Addams
at
Family.
MGM?
Like a MGM animated.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I love the Addams Family. They're
Of course you do.
great. Hey,
Look,
shut up.
Look, it says like Pamela Pedler, whose credits includes Corpse Bride and Monster House, has been signed to write the screenplay. So
Ooh.
that's really good because I like both of those movies.
I never saw either, but I remember hearing about them.
We were talking about Monster House.
Yeah.
last
Me
time.
too.
It was last time on the podcast.
Oh, I was talking about Monster House just recently with some other people.
But then I went on a random meme website and it had the exact scene that I was talking about, like that was like, what is that thing? And it was like the thing at the back of your throat, and he was like, oh, so it's a girl house. And I was like, I remember that. We were just talking about that. Someone probably posted this who listens to Chicks Take Flicks. Except probably not, but whatever.
I've never seen any episode of the original Addams Family TV show.
You are missing
I
out.
saw them. Weren't they on Scooby Doo?
What?
Weren't they like the Scooby Doo had like people like
Yeah, there was Scooby Doo in the
Were they
Addams
on-
Family. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that.
But the original show was in black and white a long
Right,
time
in the
ago.
60s.
In the 60s. It was such a good show. I used to watch reruns of that all the time when I was younger. And then they made a couple movies in color later on that were fantastic.
All I remember is that one of them is hair. Cousin It is made of hair.
Yes, he is.
That's all I remember.
My parents used to call me Cousin It when I didn't brush my hair in the mornings.
Cute.
Shout out to my parents for being dicks.
Shout out to the parents. First shout out of the podcast. Guys, we made it like
How many
5 minutes.
podcasts have we shout out to your parents, Abby? Like 3 times?
Oh.
3 times.
You guys.
They don't even listen. I'm always like, they'll like randomly bring up news about movies. I'm like, Mom, I talked about that on the podcast. She's like, oh, right.
I
I'm like,
remember that
like, Mom.
part.
she's like, well, sometimes we skip things we're not interested in. I'm like, how do you know you're not interested in it? You didn't listen.
Yo, guys, we have to shout out to my friend Bailey, who's like our #1 listener. She like posts on our Facebook wall and like ways to unpack her stuff to listen to our podcast, and she talks to me about
Also,
it.
shout out to Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. She listens to our podcast all the time, and she like really loves our chemistry and our friendship. So shout out to her.
Yeah, also shout out to Edmund because
yeah.
Again? Yeah, because he was super excited.
he was super excited about last week's podcast and like was talking about things from it with us and was like, but guys, I have things to say.
We have to bring him on.
We have to bring him on.
One
Yeah.
time, definitely.
Yeah, we should
Bring
still
him on
bring
here.
on our professor.
Oh my god, Burke. Shout out to Burke. What if he's listening? Never mind. Professor Hillsbeck. Not Burke. We don't call you Burke behind your back. Oh god, I'm making it worse. Move
call you
on.
B-Dog.
Move on to the next news
We
piece.
call you B-Dog.
Okay, so the next news piece, there is going to be a link in the doobly-doo
For all these.
for all of them, especially for this one because it's more of like a photo. It's a photo of Angelina Jolie directing her second film, Unbroken.
What's her first film?
It was the honey,
I
the
Shrunk the
land
Kids.
in the land of clover and honey, or in land of honey and clover. It was
Must
like
not have
about.
done that well.
It wasn't like it was an international film. It was a
I'll look it up.
yeah.
All right.
And
It was about like the Serbian war, Serbian Bosnian war.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was like had controversy because it was filmed in certain places and they had to do certain scenes.
In the land of blood and honey.
I was close though.
That was pretty
I
close.
So close.
You were pretty close.
I just-
Clover.
Clover. Sorry.
It's about the Bosnian War.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it,
Oh, it was directed and written by Angelina Jolie.
she looks so like
Profesh.
fresh. I want to like
Look at her on a boat.
look at
Motherfucker.
this. She just looks so good. I'm excited for this. Like,
Yeah.
if she decides to like go into like directing more and like go into just do that, I'm like totally on board.
Yeah,
This
I
is
support you, Angelina.
This was written by the Coen brothers, and she's directing it.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a
Look at her.
so the movie is about like these people, like these Nazi people. These like people during World War II. They got stuck on a boat and then they were found by the enemy, and they're just like stuck on the boat for a long time. Like, but it's like weird how they're like all these men that have been stuck on boats in the middle of nowhere, like having to survive because there's
This isn't Unbroken, is it?
yeah, this is Unbroken.
This is Unbroken.
I thought Unbroken was about an Olympian.
We just
It's
say
about Olympian and war hero Louis Zamperini,
Yeah, that he was stuck on a boat.
but apparently he was also an Olympian.
What does this mean?
I think he was like a runner.
Oh, I
he was
thought
in
you meant
war.
like
Yeah, he was in war, and then they were like,
God.
An Olympian god.
Yeah, like lives on Olympus.
No. Not what I meant.
Yeah, and so then like because there's this new movie with Robert Redford in it called All Is Lost, and it's like he doesn't say anything in the film, and it's him just stuck on a boat in the middle of nowhere, and like it's supposed to be a character study, and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna get all the awards, and so it's just like interesting that, and then they had Life of Pi like last year, and just like all these films about people being stuck, and then they had this one movie, this one Norwegian film called Kon-Tiki, which is about white guys stuck on a boat stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just like, why? Like, what's
I feel
so
like
appealing?
there's like this thought that like the most basic human is like the white guy, and like when you're stripped down of everything and you just have nothing left but your human self.
Where is your privilege? Privilege. Never mind, that's it. I'm not gonna say
But I liked Life of Pi because at least he had a tiger friend.
Yeah.
And he
And it
had
was like
reactions.
all the illusion.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him sitting there being like, oh, mom.
I mean, I like some of those like strip away humanity white guy. I like Castaway. I like Castaway.
Well, that's because Castaway was like the original. So like,
No, it wasn't.
I know, but also like Wilson just made that movie. Not gonna lie.
Not Tom Hanks. It was all the volleyball's acting. Volleyball should have gotten that Oscar.
Don't talk. I've cried more. I've cried less about
It was
more
definitely
major characters. Like most I've cried.
Wilson!
Like I cried over a volleyball.
That's the
a movie that
volleyball's
can make
good.
me do that is good. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Alright, next piece
of
about
news.
Pharrell.
Pharrell Williams.
Hans Zimmer enlists Pharrell Williams and company to score Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well, I apologize that I didn't know who Pharrell Williams was. Me and my...
Do 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 woo. From Blurred Lines, he sings
No.
the woos.
No, he goes, everybody get up.
Everybody get up, yeah.
And he does this weird dance.
I don't think I've ever seen the original Blurred Lines, so...
I've seen
Oh,
both of
really?
them, and then my mom saw it.
I just know that
Pharrell's a
apparently
good
he
dancer.
also does the voice for Daft Punk.
Yeah, Daft
Get
Punk.
Lucky.
And he's done a bunch of, I think he produced some of Miley Cyrus's album. He's done like a
He's
bunch
got
of
his own
things.
stuff too, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, obviously, he's scoring The Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently
That's,
they're
maybe it'll be
starting a
good.
band, or, well, not really a band, but...
I like don't care about the Spider-Man reboot anymore. I'm sorry, Andrew Garfield. Like I tried to care about the first movie for Andrew Garfield's sake.
I thought it
was
supposed
okay.
to be good. I never saw
It was like fine, but I'm just like so bored by it because it's
I
the
think
same
so.
story that we just
Yeah,
saw
we
with
just-
Tobey Maguire.
That was
you know
my
what they could have
question.
done? They could have got Donald Glover to play
Yeah.
Miles Morales, and this would have
Right,
been all different.
and it would have been way more interesting.
Would've been way
Also,
more
they could have waited another... They literally just
5 years.
ended Spider-Man 3, and then like 2 years later was like, let's do it again.
I know. The only one who's different is Gwen Stacy, and then they were going to have Mary
It's like
Jane,
pretty
but then
much
they
the
cut her
same,
out.
yeah.
And she was going to be in there again, so it's not like different.
It was really not that
But
different
it's
at all.
okay. I'm excited. Whatever.
Yeah, it's alright.
Better than Man of Steel. Anything better than Man of Steel.
But now
let's see.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are dating because of these movies, and I'm like, meh, no.
But they're so cute.
Emma Stone should date Ryan Gosling.
Oh god, that's such a struggle.
That's
Oh
such
my
a
God,
struggle.
That's such a struggle. That's an internal struggle that I have to deal with right now.
Like,
You just take a moment. Everyone, listeners, take a moment.
Take a moment, because which one's better, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, or Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone?
We know this is really hard for you listeners, so just take a moment to internalize this.
what movie were they in together?
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love.
They had so
and
much
Gangsters
chemistry.
and Gangsters.
I didn't see
Squad.
Gangster
But I
Squad.
But Crazy Stupid Love was like their chemistry,
So
and their like
good.
storyline was like. I'm not gonna say that movie was the best thing ever, although I did really enjoy it. But
Yeah.
like their storyline of it was like adorable,
It
and I was
was-
like, you guys should date in real life and
yeah,
have
they
babies.
have so much
It's fine.
chemistry, and then you watch like her and Andrew Garfield, and they like don't have that much chemistry.
They do. You see them in like things, and she tells them to like
Do.
They do.
Do they got that chemistry? They
They
do.
Okay.
What's
Let's
next?
give it
Okay, so next thing also from Variety is what?
No.
This one.
I didn't have that one.
okay.
This is Nick Kroll to host the 2013 Gotham Independent Film Awards.
Oh, he's dating Amy Poehler.
Yeah, he is. It's so
Also, Nick Kroll be hilarious.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Because Andrew Samberg, not Andrew Samberg,
Andrew.
Andy. Oh my god,
Andrew Samberg. Could Andrew Samberg
Andy
please come to the
Samberg.
principal's office?
Andy Samberg hosted it last year, which he did a pretty good job. But it's really interesting because they say, let's see, there's like a bunch of different things. It says this year the IFP have expanded their star power of the Gothams with the addition of Best Actor and Actress categories. And this is only a single breakout actor was nominated. And
12 Years a Slave was an independent film?
yeah, like a lot of all the films that have been coming out, like the major ones, like they had like, I think I was watching this director's thing, so it had like All Is Lost, Fruitvale Station, 12 Years a Slave, a couple other films that I can't remember right now. All of those were independent films.
Independent films have been getting a lot of attention this year.
But the thing is, it's like, should these, I mean, this film rightfully should win, but like you're thinking about all these people who have to really, really struggle to find money and like really put it together, and then they make a really great movie. Shouldn't they be more recognized than like, I mean, because 12 Years a Slave is going to get all the Oscars.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to get all the Oscars. So why is it like
They're not really struggling. They got Brad Pitt.
They got Brad Pitt on their side. I mean, Fruitvale Station has Forrest Whitaker, but like,
Yeah.
otherwise, they made that one for less than $1 million compared to the other one. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, what determines whether it's an independent film or not? Because, like, 12 Years a Slave, it seems like it could easily not be an independent
Yeah,
film.
and the fact that last year Silver Linings Playbook was considered an independent
Oh, really?
film.
Was it?
And it won all the different awards, which I feel like it shouldn't have won
Yeah.
all the awards. I think it was going to be fine in the Golden Globes
Globes.
and all the other ones, but it won all the awards, even though I thought there was a lot more independent films that should have won. But yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's go to the
What?
next piece of news.
They're
What?
making a Call of Duty movie franchise.
I heard that's
What?
been developing for like the past, how many years Call of Duty's been out?
Call of Duty? Oh my god. That actually kind of sounds cool. I like Call of Duty.
All the boys. are gonna
All the
be
bros.
Like, all the bros
All
gonna
the
be
bros.
like.
All the bros gonna be like Megan Fox in this movie. Because she
Megan Fox. Oh my god, of course she
my
is.
God.
They literally just catered that movie toward
Men.
video game movie with Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
They don't need. Doesn't even need a plot.
No.
Which one's next for me?
What's next?
For me, it's the Entourage. I have the
Entourage.
other one at the very end.
Okay.
So also from Variety, I'm really excited about this one, is that the Entourage creator says that a movie is a go. Basically, they're making an Entourage movie based on the show Entourage, which is
What's
from
the synopsis of the Entourage show?
It's HBO, right? Is Entourage HBO?
Or is it Showtime?
Is it about?
What is it about?
Yeah, what's it
have you
about?
seen it?
Yeah. Entourage is HBO. Okay, anyway. Entourage is, I mean, I can read the synopsis, but basically it's about this actor, right? It's very meta. It's basically about this actor who has like his friends live with him. Okay, it's synopsis says film star Vince Chase, who's the main guy, navigates the vapid terrain of Los Angeles with his close circle of friends and his trusty agent. Basically, it's about a movie actor guy, and at the very beginning of the like pilot, he's just been in like this amazing movie and he's getting famous, and it's just about him, his two best friends, his brother, and then his agent, and those are the basic five, and it's a really good show. It's off air, but it ran 8 seasons from 2004 to 2011. So
I feel like there's so many like movies, not so much TV shows, but like so many movies that are like super meta like that. They're like, it's about an actor, it's about a screenwriter who's trying to make it in Los Angeles, which is probably because people write what they know, so they write about themselves.
yeah, but this was like created by Mark Wahlberg, and
Oh wait,
and
who's
it's
that?
like it's loosely based on his life, kind of his earlier life.
Remind me who Mark Wahlberg is. I know the name.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. That's what
He was in Ted and like.
Oh yeah, that dude.
And it's kind of loosely based on his life, but what's really cool about Entourage is they have a lot of actors that go on as themselves. So Mark Wahlberg's on there all the time. They've had like Ralph Macchio randomly just being himself. Like you have a lot of actors that play themselves. That's
cool.
On that show. It's a good show, but they're making a movie. I'm excited. Woo woo. Also, main guy is played by what's his face, and he's really attractive, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next piece of news, which looks a little strange. Okay, Noomi Rapace. Got that name.
Boom.
Got that name. Pharrell.
To play 7 different sisters in a sci-fi drama.
What?
So basically, she's taking like
Tatiana Maslany's role in
that's
Orphan
why
Black.
that's why I included it, because I was like, I know you guys. Did you guys both watch?
I've not
I haven't seen it, but I know
What?
you watch it. But
Y'all
like,
should watch it.
It's called What Happened to Monday, and it's multiple roles of septuplets.
She's playing 7 sisters.
And apparently, the role was originally written for a male, and she stole out.
Oh, that's cool. And who's this actress?
She was in the Swedish version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and in Prometheus, and in the second Sherlock movie.
That's kind of interesting that, I don't know, I feel like Rooney Mara and Noomi Rapace are kind of like the same-ish sounding names, and they both played the same role.
Wait, Orphan Black is how many does she play more?
Oh, no, I was talking about Rooney Mara from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but Orphan Black, Tatiana Maslany plays cloned, so it's not exactly the same. But she plays like at least, I think there's at least 7.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's kind of like Vampire Diaries. You have Nina Dobrev, she plays like 3 different characters.
But like Orphan Black, it's like all Tatiana Maslany. Like every scene is like her and herself, or like her and 2 of herselves, and like she runs that show.
So it's it's going to be really interesting about this is going to be really about. But it says Rapace will portray sisters who struggle to stay hidden in an overpopulated world where a one-child policy allows them. Well, they fucked up. They had 6 other kids.
Guys, we had one rule. One kid, you had 7. What did I just say?
It's not even like 2, it's like 7.
And the fact that it's called What Happened on Monday, it's like, well, we know what happened. And also, too, it sounds kind of like there's one for each day of the week. And it's like, each episode is like,
you're right.
This is Monday.
My name's Monday.
My name's Tuesday. There's like an old,
Sunday's Child.
There's like an old kid story about a woman who has 7 children, and each one gets turned into a different piece of food.
Oh God, that's
by
not
like
what
a
I was
witch.
thinking. I was thinking of that proverb or whatever that's like Monday's child is blah blah blah, Tuesday's child is something something, something 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 something. I don't know what
that's from. I think that's from the story.
Really?
Yeah.
And Sunday's child is like the best one. I remember that because I was born on a Sunday.
Oh my god! Oh.
So I'm the best.
Yeah, but like the mom, to get her children back from the witch, had to like
eat her kids.
No.
You said they turned into food.
They did. They didn't stay as food. Their mom has to know them really well, so she has to tell the witch something special about each one of them.
Oh.
And then they get her back. Anyway, last piece of news. Is this the last piece of news?
Yeah.
It's like
also from Variety. The best picture race will Academy rise to new and bolder challenges.
Yeah. It's
so
not
basically
really,
it's about like the award season and how they think that there are a bunch of daring films this year.
Yeah, because like they were talking about. I was reading a bunch of different things about this. It's not really news, but it's kind of what you'd think about going into this award season this year, because the past films between like 2005 to 2007 were all like gritty films. Like I think The Departed won, No Country for Old Men, and so like those are kind of really great films. The Hurt Locker, and then it switched from 2010 to 2012, where it was it had The King's Speech, The Artist, and Argo, which all happy endings. And
Argo was pretty gritty. I mean,
it was pretty gritty until the end when they, we know
when
that
the
they made it
Americans
out.
win.
So it's like it was still like a heartfelt, like Hollywood, because Hollywood was a part of the whole thing. So
I definitely felt like Hollywood was just like patting itself on the back,
it's
especially
big-
with the
it's-
artist.
Yeah. Oh, the artist. Yeah.
They're like,
definitely.
ooh, movies.
But now there's like all these films are coming up. Are they going to pick something that is just regular?
I need Gravity to not win.
Yeah?
You don't want Gravity to
You
win?
didn't even see it.
I know. Okay, everyone, there's a YouTube video done by the Vlog Brothers, done by Hank Green,
I
and
missed
he
it.
talks about how he's also afraid of the movie Gravity, and he saw it, and then he talks about real life astronauts that get like stuck in space, and they're just like, no.
I should watch that.
But they were like talking about 12 Years a Slave might be one, big one. Captain Phillips, Gravity.
Oh, I hope Captain Phillips.
All Is Lost.
I like
like that movie.
I liked it. I just don't think it.
They were talking about like
picture.
how Before Midnight, which came out in like the summertime, was like a different film because it's basically just like.
When's the last time a summertime film won Best Picture?
I think The Hurt Locker.
Was a summertime film?
Mm-hmm. It came out in June.
Okay. I just feel like that hurts your chances because everyone's forgotten.
And then,
about it.
or of course, Blue is the Warmest Color, the lesbian movie that.
Right, but
like,
apparently, wasn't in our news, but I read a thing that apparently the actors in that movie were like really kind of abused by the director, and like they had to work really long hours that like were against the union laws.
I heard that I think they worked long hours, but I don't
and
know.
also like the main actors and the director like publicly hate each other. Like they just talk about it
Wow.
in interviews.
I haven't read like any interviews by both of them, so
that'll be interesting.
yeah, it's just like I wonder. Hopefully they pick something bolder because
I wouldn't mind Gravity
I want
winning.
them to be like. Because if they always pick the same thing, and especially once you hit the Golden Globes and you kind of know what's going to happen. Like that's how I can win every single Academy Award.
No,
like
because
thing.
that's what I thought was going to happen for Brokeback Mountain. And did it win the Oscars? No, it did not. And that was a fantastic movie, and it should have won, and it won the Golden Globes, and I'm still angry.
Who won that one? Who won it before? Like
Crash.
Oh,
Crash.
yeah.
No one even.
Crash can suck.
No one even remembers Crash. Everyone remembers
because it was not a good movie.
And everyone remembers.
My mom liked it a lot. She thought it was an interesting movie, but everyone was like, "What?" Like,
I was really angry.
But I mean, Brokeback Mountain is the one that has the legacy. Like everyone knows Brokeback Mountain.
But also, I was also angry about Crash because I understand people in the world say the word fuck, but they say it every other word in that movie to the point where I just want to shoot myself in the face.
Shoot yourself in the fucking face.
Fucking face, man. Oh my. Although Ryan Felipe, you did a good job. Thank you for your work in movies and in my loins.
Wait, don't we do box office and then trailers?
Yeah.
Yo, stepping on my toes.
Yeah. So that was the
That
was the end of news, I guess. Unless you guys have anything else.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit it over to Anna for some box office and coming soon.
Hey guys, it's Anna. I don't know why I did that. All right, we're going to talk about box office for this weekend. We've got the predictions. These are not set in stone. Don't hold us to these. But looks like in first place, we've got Ender's Game coming in with 26.2 million, possibly more. So apparently the boycott didn't work so well.
It did pretty well, like, but it's not gonna be like, whoa, like it came out of nowhere, because it's still like.
That's what they expected though, like, because like some people were saying like it's gonna bombs in box office, like people are gonna boycott this movie, like it's not gonna do well. It doesn't look like that worked out.
Which we will be discussing the boycott later.
Yeah, we'll be discussing that later. And then in second, we've got Freebird with $22 million. I forget what that movie is.
It's basically Chicken Run.
Oh, right, the Chicken Run movie.
the
kids movie.
Yeah, the kids movie.
Apparently there's time travel. Was unaware.
I don't know if will it make 22 million? It doesn't.
That's the estimate we've got coming in for this weekend.
Jeez.
Third, Las Vegas.
I want to say that movie.
Las Vegas.
I want to see that movie so bad.
The Hangover for old people.
Oh my god, it looks so good. It's probably not going to be good.
It's probably not that good. I would see it if only to see Morgan Freeman do funny things.
This is actually weird. So I found.
Oh, you found the real one.
No, it's like a weekend studio estimates, and this is just what people think it's going to happen.
Oh, okay. So Maya's got a slightly different outlook. But I'm gonna keep going with this.
Okay.
Fourth, we've got Bad Grandpa, 16 million, much to everyone's dismay. And fifth, Gravity's still hanging on there with 13.6 million, which is pretty good. Gravity's still hitting the top 5, and it's in its fifth week.
Yeah.
So.
Is it?
No.
Yeah, it's in its fifth week.
No.
And it's made, it's made $219.1 million.
Damn.
I also feel like Gravity definitely has an advantage due to the fact that it's in regular theaters, IMAX theaters, and 3D theaters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ender's Game is also in IMAX 3D, maybe.
I think it's in 3D, yeah. 3D.
Making back all that money for
So
the
the budget-
on-location shots. Week 5 of that joke, you guys.
That joke just gets funnier and funnier.
Oh, God, okay.
Jeez, Bad Grandpa has made as of now, made $62 million and on a $15 million budget. So it's already, won.
All right, and coming soon, I didn't really look this up, so maybe you guys can help me out. But coming soon at the Apollo, this Friday, we've got Psycho, midnight, $5. I might go. I like that movie.
Was it at midnight?
I assume it's at midnight. Usually that's what those are at. Maybe I'll talk someone going into going.
We have
And then
we have Thor.
Thor. Oh yeah, Thor's coming to us.
We have Thor coming out. And
Yeah, that's coming to the Apollo too.
Your favorite thing is coming out, Anna. The Book Thief.
The Book Thief? Oh, I'm not like super upset about that. Okay, so The Book Thief is coming out. We'll see how that goes. There's no way that it's gonna be a good movie. I'm sorry.
Something called How I Live Now.
How I Live Now,
And I think the
starring people I don't know.
I think About Time, you know that romantic comedy with Rachel McAdams?
Oh my god,
I think it's gonna
aka
expand.
The Time Traveler's Wife?
Yeah, it's gonna expand more.
How is it that Rachel McAdams is another movie about a time traveling romance? Like, it's a pretty niche market.
65%, so I think it's already been better than The Time Traveler's Wife. So which one's better?
What? I kind of like The Time Traveler's Wife.
Dragged to that movie against my will.
You know, I like The Time Traveler's Wife, but
There's a movie coming out about the lie that
Lance Armstrong? They made a movie about that already?
Yeah.
That happened like 6 months ago, didn't it?
No, I think it was like a year.
Yeah, I guess it was like a year ago,
Quite
but
a long
still,
time ago.
who's playing
As-
Lance Armstrong?
It's a documentary.
Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay. Interesting.
As someone who actually follows professional cycling, I would tell you it was not 6 months ago.
Okay, it
been a
seems like
while.
it wasn't that long ago. So that seems pretty quick. Oh my god, I'm at 38% battery. Turning down the brightness.
Shout out to Mr. Froome for winning this year's Tour de France.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's listening.
I enjoy professional cycling. My mother and I bond over it. It's fine. Shout out to Mom.
All right, that's all I have for box office coming soon. Shall we move into trailer talk? Trailer talk.
Okay, so we've got two big ones that came out this week. There's a bunch of them that come out, and we're always fighting about which ones we show.
Yeah.
Because I love everything. I love
Maya
all
always
these
wants to
trailers.
show like 7 trailers.
But
And I'm like,
I'll
you
make a
bring the
spin-off
computer
show
a
with
little
just
closer?
me talking about trailers.
Go off on your own. Chick dig.
Chick dig trailers.
Trailers. Twix.
Anyway, we got the Hunger Games Catching Fire exclusive final trailer.
Final trailer. Let's
So-
bring the computer a little closer to the mic, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You guys
Full
see it?
disclosure, we have.
Oh
seen
wait,
this one.
let's count. Okay, so listeners, if you want to watch along,
God.
Maya's already started.
No,
Okay.
I stopped it.
There's a link in the doobly-doo, which Maya has graciously provided for you, presumably, in the future. And we're going to watch it now. So, ready? 3, 2, 1. Hit play!
Yay, she didn't write this time.
Oh, Lionsgate.
Yes, we already have
See,
some of the
I feel like the arena
arena.
looks like...
It's so beautiful. Look at the fog.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old arena too much, I feel like. I don't know.
But, I mean, that's what it looks like, kind of.
Yeah.
Haha, 2 different shots. They're not the same thing.
Oh, really?
She on
That's
fire.
pretty cool.
Look, I love this shot.
Girl, you
Watch.
on fire.
She like, have not that shit. I'm so excited. Dude.
Oh, man.
I'm excited for the, like, war part of it.
Yeah.
too.
That's cool.
That's so good.
Prim! Oh no, the palm trees are falling. She's got a necklace. She's a bird.
The fog.
The fog.
Monkeys.
The monkeys. The birds.
This, oh my god, that shot right there.
Oh jeez. That's
100%
intense.
done. 100% done.
So the shot I'm talking about is she's running away from the
Jabber.
Jabberjays.
The Jabberjays.
Mockingjays.
The Mockingjays.
And they're all attacking her.
And they're like, well, they're attacking her, and they're also like making a sound that makes her think that Prim is like dying or something.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But because of spoilers, a little bit, I guess, from the book, because of the clock, she can't actually exit where they are
For an
hour. But like you see her and Peta on like so close, almost touching, but they're on opposite sides of like
and then
this
he's like screaming to her, "It's not real!"
Yeah.
And that like sets up a bunch of different things that we're not gonna get into right
Real
now.
or not real?
This is why I have a lot of feelings about Peta.
It's so good, and like I just can't. And
Also-
then they have like Haymitch holding like Katniss after like District 11 things, and then they have like there's so much.
Also, can we talk about the fact that they did not have Peta's fake foot in the first movie.
Oh yeah, they were just like, no.
And that's a little bit kind of a plot point in the second book. And I'm like,
but I think they wanted to. I know that they, Francis Lawrence has been talking, and Josh Hutcherson has been talking about trying to step up Peeta's action, because like he's been kind of like, especially in the first movie, he was like kind of towards the way, and they want him to be a little bit stronger.
He made some bread.
So they were just like, we want to make him stronger, so they pushed him more. Like now he can swim and now he can do certain things because they want him to be like
more of a man's man.
More of a man's man.
Yeah.
In this.
But I'm still confused.
But I miss the sensitive bread boy.
I'm also confused because his leg is chopped off and he has a fake leg, and I'm confused as to why they didn't do that in the movie, because I actually kind of liked that part.
You're into that? You're into the one leg thing?
No, but I liked it because it became a plot point, and like it made his character more interesting.
Yeah.
And
I think it's just because of time.
But it was also just like, it was kind of a major
they didn't do
plot
Katniss's
point.
death thing. They kind of sort of made it through like the sound, but like not really.
That really scared me in the first book when she thought she was deaf, because like
she couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that was like she was gonna die.
She couldn't hear anything because she's
deaf.
Because she's deaf, yeah.
Anyway.
Which is the definition of being deaf. All right, so
we
this
got
next
the
trailer.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
I'm excited. I really like the first class movie, and now we got Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy in the same shot.
Wait. You know who else is in this movie? Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is in this. Yeah, she's been doing a lot of. She's been busy.
Yeah, she's been busy.
Shit, son, she has been. She's in everything.
Yeah.
She's like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh my God, Benedict Cumberbatch is. What did I just see him in? The 12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave.
But you don't understand. I was watching a movie last week, and he was in 4 trailers. I was like, damn, dude. And by the fourth one, my mom turns to me. She's like, is he in every movie? And I'm like, I guess. I didn't even know.
He's going to be Nelson Mandela. I was not Nelson Mandela. It's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Nelson Mandela. Sorry. All right, we start in the trailer. Maya started it.
Sorry.
So it's happening. It's fine. Hopefully listeners are caught up. Here we go.
Oh, I love the Marvel screen.
Yeah, it makes me excited, even though they've had some bad movies.
What's the last thing you remember?
Oh, see, I hope they don't make this too Wolverine-centric.
Ooh, Hallie.
Yeah.
She was pregnant during this whole thing.
What, really?
Oh, Ian McKellen.
Oh, no, that's...
They brought back everybody, did they? Look, they brought even back...
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, yo.
That's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
The other one was Ian McKellen.
Really?
It?
I don't know. I think it was Patrick.
Well, Ian McKellen is old Magneto.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's the guy from Untouchables.
I'm so excited. They're all coming together.
This is the war in the future, and they're going back into.
They're gonna go back. They're going in time.
Nice.
The usual suspense.
Wake up my young body and then find me, convince me.
Oh, James McAvoy, your hair looks so bad.
It's going to take the two of us.
Ugh.
Where do I find you? Wintership House.
I have a lot of Ian McKellen fans. Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
I was a very different man.
Yeah, why is
Because he's like sick or something. I don't
Why is Wolverine such a big part of
know.
this?
Yeah, I know.
Patient with me.
It's because all the boys love their Wolverine.
Patience is my strongest suit.
He just comes down like
J-Law.
J-Law.
Whenever I say J-Law, I think of Jude Law, actually, though.
Yeah. Jen-Law.
Jen-Law.
Well, it looks like they overdid themselves on the.
They have Richard Nixon in this movie.
Richard. Oh, yeah, because it's back in the 70s.
Oh.
Why do they have to have Mystique be naked? She's not naked in the comics.
Uh-oh.
They overdid themselves on the special effects budget. Jesus.
Look at them. They're in the same shot. Patrick Stewart, James McAvoy.
Oh my god.
It's fine. It's fine.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, like I heard like Mystique's character is gonna be like sort of betraying Magneto, or like not, like she's gonna be
Betraying
way more
Magneto?
like more into the, because she's like left with Magneto at the end of
Right.
first class, so they're like thinking like she's gonna be like trying to do something, like she'll have like a more of a role.
You guys know how in the first class movie, Michael Fassbender or whatever is like, I prefer the real Raven, and then she like changes and then he's like, I said the real Raven, and then but there's a post on Tumblr that's like, I said the real Raven, and then it has a shot of Raven Simone from That's So Raven, and I'm like, yes.
That's great.
I love that.
She was the original Raven.
I meant the real Raven.
That's so
Oh, snap.
It's the future I can see.
They should make it That's So Raven movie. Now that I would be excited about.
Isn't she a lesbian?
Raven Simone, yeah, she came out and it was awesome.
Because it was about, I think, when they made about the gay marriage of the Doma, I think.
Yeah, although it wasn't really that big of a secret, I felt like, because
I didn't know. I had
she
no
had like
idea.
public tiffs with one of her girlfriends, didn't she?
Oh, really? I guess I didn't follow her
T-shirt
career
she
so
did.
much. All right, so moving into our next segment. Are we ready
So
to? Are we
we're
gonna?
talking about-
Oh, here
ready?
we go. Wait,
Right.
we go into our next segment.
Oh.
Here we go.
See, wait, skip. That was good, guys.
It was pretty good. Better than last week.
Yeah, so this week this week is see, wait, skip with Maya. Sorry. I'm trying to be like the MC and failing, and I apologize. And then we're going to do our discussion afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's going to kind of move into that too. So we saw the Ender's Game.
By we, they
As
mean
in
Maya and Anna.
and me.
Because Abby had a paper to write.
So,
I'm Abby. I have schoolwork.
I forgot about schoolwork. Okay, see,
I go to college.
So here's the synopsis that I found from this Apollo thing. So, in preparation for the next attack by a hostile alien race, a shy but strategically brilliant boy is pulled out of his school to join the elite battle school, where he distinguishes himself as humankind's next great hope. It stars Asa Butterfield, Ben Kingsley, Harrison Ford, Viola Davis, Haley Steinfeld, and
Abigail Breslin.
Abigail
I
Breslin.
forgot Viola Davis was in this.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she was good. Like, they could have given her a bigger part, I think, but, like, it
Yeah,
was
she
fine.
did pretty good.
So Abby's
and this
probably
is-
going to be pretty quiet for this next little bit, so
Can
I'll talk
interject.
to you in a few minutes.
You want to go first?
Sure. I just want to add, this is based on the young adult / children's novel by Orson Scott Card, which came out, when it come out? 80s? I think it came out in the 80s.
80s?
I will look it up for you.
And it's in this, I don't know, did you say this in the synopsis? So, like, they're in this world, like, where they recruit children to be in their army, basically.
Yeah, they recruit. Yeah, because they've lost so many people, or it was like a lot
These
of devastating-
aliens attacked their world 50 years ago, and they're like, the only way to beat these aliens is to have children fight our war.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, 10-year-old children.
Books came out in 1986.
1986. Cool.
And
That's
seven.
so like and it was just so yeah, they didn't list like really young kids. I think Ender is supposed to be actually younger than what
Yeah,
he is
he's
in the
supposed to be
movie.
9.
Like he's supposed to be 9, and now he's 14-ish.
He looked like 14. The actor is 15. He's like tall.
He's 5'10". That's what I found out today.
Damn.
Look, Asa.
He's got a little baby face, but
He is cute. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. He's 16. He's
people give me crap
16.
for this, but this dude's gonna be attractive in 5 years.
I'm
not
waiting.
ashamed of it. I'm
I'm
waiting.
waiting. I'm not ashamed
Asa,
of
you
this.
hear that? We at Chick Stick Flakes are
We
waiting on you.
Netflix, we are waiting for you.
5 years time. Call us up.
Oh, he was in Boy with the Striped Pajamas.
Oh yeah, and Hugo.
And Hugo. So I guess I like the movie. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't.
That's where I know him from.
Merlin.
Sorry, he was on Merlin.
He was really good. I think it was pretty good.
You haven't read the book, right?
I've never read the book, so I just came in this not knowing. There was a lot of sometimes like jargon, like scientific, like what did I say yesterday? It was like scientifical.
Oh yeah,
scientifical
scientifical
jargon
stuff.
that I didn't understand. And I thought sometimes were boring.
Yeah.
The first half is
Yeah.
like it's like slow, and then actually it gets really interesting. Like last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I saw it because the clock was like at like 9, like
Right,
at
I was watching the
8:45,
clock.
and I was like, okay, this is when it got really interesting.
Right,
So-
that clock in the Apollo.
Yeah, the clock in the Apollo like told us where it was like starting
Yep.
to get interesting. I mean, I like the battlefield stuff, but yeah, it was definitely weird that that had to be
All of the
that so
training
long.
like took so long. They were
And
like
then the
training, and then they were like an hour and a half into the movie, and they're like, tomorrow we start your training. And me and Maya were like, more fucking
Yeah.
training?
I know, more fucking training. I thought every person did a good job. I think the dialogue was a little weird
Yeah.
in places, and so like the acting didn't seem to match up with the dialogue. But it was definitely the writing sometimes that was not matching up with what the actors were performing.
Yes.
And there was surprisingly a lot of diversity in this movie that I did not suspect there is going to be diversity, and I don't know if this is like the same thing within Ender's Game, and he specifically said
It
there's
is.
these
I was talking to
people-
my friend Sarah, who actually like really likes Ender's Game, and she's like, Yeah, there's a lot of diversity in the book, but also that like there was like some racism kind of, because like some stereotypes, because they like combined the dude that played like what's his face, Bonzo,
I think.
Bonzo was like actually two characters in the book, and it was supposed to be, you know, he has like a really big nose or whatever. He was supposed to be like this Jewish kid. That,
But the guy's Hispanic. So.
I know.
Oh, that's interesting.
And a Hispanic kid, I think, and they like combine them or something. I don't know.
It was just like interesting because I didn't suspect it at all, and then they had all these like they had everyone like, and then they had I think just like everyone did a really good job, and Harrison Ford did not look as grumbly as he did in 42, and I will show you pictures of 42 where he looked really grumbly.
He was doing some grumbles,
he was doing some grumbles,
like,
but he was pretty. He looked good, so I don't know if there was some makeup going on, but he looked better than he did in 42.
But his dialogue was a little grumpy.
Yeah, his dialogue was grumpy. Then there was also some like weird relationships within these people. So there was like. I was doing a lot of shipping during this film, mostly between Ali and Ender, because Ali was like, Salam alaikum.
Ali, I think you mean Bean and Ender.
Oh yeah, Bean too. Both Bean and Ali.
Yeah.
And then there's also between, was it Petra and Ender? But then there was like his relationship. His relationship with his sister was, as we called it, the
Fogel's incest relationship.
The Fogel's incest relationship. Anyway, need to get back to the point. It was really, I think it was good. I don't think it was the best thing, like, ever. I didn't, like, but it was just made me think a lot about, especially just sci-fi films and using children for the sake of humanity reasons. And it was just, like, really scary towards the end when there was a big plot twist where I was like, no way. This is, like, this is the worst thing ever. And they have to realize, like, these are children, but then you have to use them as soldiers, and like that's like the line that they've been trying to like portray. Like, these are kids that you're using, and they're going to be having this their whole life. Right. And you make them do stuff that they not necessarily know.
What's his name? Asia.
I think Asa.
Well, shout out to him. He's from Islington, London. Okay. That's where I stayed this summer.
Oh,
that's where I lived this summer.
Cool. And so, what are you going to give it a C, weight, or skip?
I'll give it a C. Yeah. I liked it enough that I think people would enjoy it. I think it's a C. If you're not a like big fan, I mean, of like something like that, but I think it's a good sci-fi film. It's one of the better young adult films that came out this year.
Would you say it's like pretty high sci-fi or
high sci-fi?
Or could you like see it without like not knowing anything about sci-fi?
What do you mean not knowing anything about sci-fi?
Because there's like some sci-fi that you have to know.
I don't think you need to know anything.
I don't think you have to know anything. I mean, since I've seen sci-fi films, and it's almost like Star Trek-y for little kids.
It's Star Trek for little kids.
So I like got some of the premise of like what they were doing, and like, but I don't know, because there was some definitely sci-fi. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say the special effects I really enjoyed in this movie. I thought they were better than a lot of films that have come out, and I think it was the budget because it was like $100 million budget. But it was also like there was some like gravity shots, not as good as Gravity, but there was some really fun no gravity that like didn't look like they were on strings or on these things. They were like,
there was a lot to do with floating around in anti-gravity in this movie, which I think would have been better if it hadn't come out so close to Gravity, because the whole time I was just like, Gravity, this is just Gravity.
Yeah,
Gravity's better. I don't want to see Gravity.
Yeah. So I'll give it a C.
Give it a C.
Well, all I have to say about this can't be the Star Trek for kids, because you know what the Star Trek for kids is? Star Trek.
No, but like Star Trek with kids in it, because like they're like 9-year-olds.
Yeah, well, shout out to Will Wheaton, because he was like...
Will Wheaton.
He was a kid during Star Trek and rocked it out. That's all I have to say.
Well, yeah.
Basically, I'm just saying this.
Can I give my review of Ender's Game now?
No.
So, I enjoyed this film, but not really until, like the last half hour, last 15 minutes. I was like falling asleep in like when we hit like hour 1.5 there. I slept a little, but because I was like not that interested in the whole setup of the movie. I felt like they were just like going down a grocery list of like, okay, this scene was done, this scene was done, this scene was done. Didn't really seem to like flow very well in my opinion. Like it didn't really have a good tempo to it.
Yeah.
And the dialogue was stilted and weird, especially at the beginning of the movie.
Especially with that officer, you know, the big black dude, that he was like, that
he said some weird things and his voice was weird. I don't know.
It was a weird like whole situation. I did not that part.
And like Ender was an interesting character, I guess, but like I was not super interested in the characters. But the plot twist was awesome. It was one of the better plot twists I've witnessed in a movie theater, because a lot of times they don't really get me, but that one I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Mind blown. And then this girl behind us was like freaking out. She was like, oh my god, I get it now. And I won't give any spoilers, but she was like, oh, it's not this. And she was like freaking out behind us, and I was like,
she was freaking out. Yeah, she was really loud.
She was like holding her head in her hands. And I was like, calm down.
Plot twist better, or Breaking Dawn Part 2 plot
I mean, I was smashed for the Breaking Dawn Part 2 plot twist because we were playing a drinking game, me and my roommate, so that was pretty great.
Well, sitting next to you was hilarious.
I was like, I was pretty shocked about that plot. I think I was more vocal about that plot twist than this one.
But this was a real plot twist,
like,
not a fake one.
Not a fake one put in, because I think this one was in the book. So
yeah, this is definitely in the book.
So we're just like, no.
Yeah, I think I would give it a wait personally, just because, I don't know, I'm not sure, and we're going to talk about this in a second, I'm not sure where I stand on the controversy behind this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Orson Scott Card getting money from this movie, and if it was a really good movie, I'd say, like, fuck it, you know, he's not going to get that much money from it, or maybe he will, I don't know, go see it, but since it wasn't that great, I'm going to give it a wait.
Speaking of the controversy, he does not actually get any residuals from this movie.
How is that possible?
Because he got paid for it in 1996 when they decided to make it. So he's already gotten paid for this movie. He doesn't get any ticket sales from this movie.
Yeah, he got it's like he got when they got the book, the movie rights in 96, he got paid $1.6 million. And then since they were developing it over this course of, you know, now is almost 20 years or whatever, 15 years, they've been trying to, you know, do everything, and then they finally were able to do it. So the only thing that people are mad at is, like, if he's just successful and they green light other sequels, then he'll get more money. He'll get more money because they have to ask for those rights.
Yeah.
For
but yeah, he doesn't get any residuals on this movie.
Do you maybe want to explain go into our discussion, explain the controversy behind it?
Yeah, so basically what we're going to talk about for our discussion is not only just the controversy behind this movie, but also how to kind of reconcile between authors or directors of things or
actors or any kind of artist or artist
who is not the greatest person in the world but still enjoying their work, and what that kind of controversy. But basically the controversy over this is that the author of the book Ender's Game, Orson Scott Card, which we talked a little bit about, he seems to be, what I've heard about it, I have not read the book, is that apparently he's quite racist, quite homophobic. He does give a lot of money to anti-gay marriage.
He's on the board of, like, marriage, he was on some kind of anti-gay marriage committee, which he has since resigned from in the past year, I think in preparation for the movie.
Yeah, but this is like well-documented history of public homophobia and has published numerous anti-gay screeds since the 90s. And then
he's Mormon,
and he's a right-wing Mormon.
Because of this controversy over him, there's been a lot of boycotting of the movie. And
Geek Out, I think, is the name of the organization that's organized this LGBTQ boycott.
Yeah. I would say, I think it's very interesting, the boycott, because, I don't know, I guess I would rather boycott the book than the movie, due to the fact that he still gets money from the books. And this is probably going to make him a lot of money on the books. So, I don't know. But
it's still hard for me to believe that he's not going to get any ticket sale money from this. There's no way. How did he possibly sign over the rights to this movie?
Because he had no involvement. Even though he's considered a producer, he had no involvement within the movie.
Okay, but there's no way he would have signed over the rights to make this movie and not made sure he got some profit.
I think he doesn't care.
For real, I do not.
So yes, it says, although Card takes producing credit, he had zero say or creative input in the adaptation. According to all those involved with the movie who spoke with the rap about Ender's Game.
Okay, yeah, he wasn't involved, but I'm still thinking he's going to get money from it.
Yeah, it says, he's already been paid through a decade-old deal that include no back end, so no box office profits. So he's like, they were ready, like, sign that shit up. Like, you're not getting anything. Which is like...
I guess maybe the boycott could prevent, if the movie doesn't do well, it could prevent sequels from being made.
Yeah, that's basically what the boycott for the movie is kind of becoming now that now that most people realize that he's not getting any back end. It's just preventing him getting money, because he gets a lot of his money goes to this organization against gay marriage, and people are angry about that.
Yeah, and it's just like this, like, and the thing is like, it's really interesting because, I mean, whether you believe it or not, Lionsgate has came out and said, they produced, Perks of Being a Wallflower and like a bunch of different films. They're like, we are not an anti-gay association. We do not, like, we are for, gay rights. We do not support Orson Card's views. And the people who've been behind this, the crew, the cast, everything been involved, have not been, a part, like, we're separating ourselves from Card's view. And a lot of, during Comic-Con, they've, brought this up, and a lot of the actors and stuff have come out and said, no, we don't support this. And I found out, I think they read... It's really interesting because in this movie, there's a lot about acceptance and tolerance for different people, especially because there's a lot of different bullying scenes.
Yeah.
And whether to accept people and to tolerate them, and like your enemies and your friend, like, and it's all, this whole thing about acceptance.
Yeah.
And
if you understand your enemy, you also love them.
Yeah. It's just like, it's really interesting because how can this whole thing be spewed about tolerance and acceptance when he's saying all these anti-homosexual things, and how it's very difficult because, and then you want to, when people like think it's like, oh, if you go to see this movie, are you a terrible person because you saw this movie? Are you not a terrible person? What's the decision? Like, people think of you differently because you saw this movie? Like, you don't want to give money to something that might have a sequel to the end of it, but you can't stop them from not having a sequel, because if, let's say, you didn't go and see this movie, but they made one, then it's other people, because how many can 17,000 people stop people from seeing a movie? Then, if it was like a big revolution where everyone's like, no one will see this movie.
Hard too, because like a lot of people like to, I don't know, like get on their high horse of like, oh, I didn't see this movie, so now I'm fighting for the LGBT cause. And like, it's something really easy that people can do, not see a movie and then feel like they're being a social servant. And I feel like that can get kind of dangerous and also annoying for people being like, oh, I didn't see this movie, so I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this does work really well with our discussion on, kind of reconciling with yourself between a piece of work and the person who makes it. Yeah. Because definitely I don't agree with his ideals, but I would have seen this movie if I hadn't had a paper due. Like, I wanted to see this movie.
And people are so love the book so much, and they want to see it on, like, it's like, what if Harry Potter or something was
and there's a lot of problems with Harry Potter,
like, what if some, like, J.K. Rowling was like a complete, like, racist and homophobe, and then like Harry Potter is this beloved series about like this boy, and then you go and see these movies. Are you supporting her because she made a lot of money off these films, and like, you're supporting her and her actions and stuff, or are you just not going to? I mean, I don't know, but the thing is like, Lionsgate did choose this film. Did choose this like book and say, we're going to make this movie, and even though with all his like stuff and so
well, like, with a good example is like Kurt Sutter. He's a producer of a lot of television and movies, and just like, he isn't a jackass. Like, he is not nice to any fans. He's a dick to like other people in the industry who like critics of his work. He just like makes fun of them and hates them and like talks about them like they're just like the worst people ever. But like, he still makes good movies and good television, and like, I still love some of his work, even though he is a complete and utter douchebag. So it's just like,
I mean, yeah, a lot of artists and like old historical artists are like known to be like crazy and messed up and like bad people, but like, where do we draw the line of like, well, we're not gonna like their art because they're crazy people, like, and like, people, I don't know, directors, writers, producers are under the microscope a lot more in recent times than appreciating like old art. Because you even think about like, I don't know, like Orson Welles is like a bad guy, like he is, and Alfred Hitchcock, he's like got some crazy things with women going on, and like his sexual fantasies of like creating the perfect woman and like shaping women. The way he treats the actresses in his movie was like terrible. But like we study these movies in our film classes. Shout out to Burke. And like we don't really talk about that. But then we feel the need to dissect artists in the modern day, which I think is a good thing. But, like, I don't know. You have to kind of have both. Like, you have to be able to appreciate the art and acknowledge that it's problematic.
Yeah, I also think this has to do with the age of technology. The fact that we just know more
That's
about,
true.
like, every
age
artist
of information.
ever.
Yeah.
Because, like, when Hitchcock was actually doing these things, it was not that common of a knowledge. Or if it was kind of, like, still part of the norm. And now that, like, society's changing and technology is changing, I think that's definitely very different.
Especially now that celebrities are on Twitter and on Tumblr and on Facebook, and you see all the time these Twitter people that like Alec Baldwin saying things and then him apologizing and being this is why sometimes I get like a little pissed off, especially with GLAAD a little bit, because GLAAD will go in and if a Republican, let's say Republican conservative person says something bad, they will go and attack him. You're not right. You need to apologize. You resign, whatever. Alec Baldwin says a lot of things. A lot of times he drops the F-bomb. A lot of times he makes anti-gay slurs. And it's not the first time. He's made it all the time. And they will always be like, oh, it's okay.
Yep.
You're okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry. And I mean, Anderson Cooper called them out. It's like, why do you accept him? But if someone else isn't like not part of your views, you don't accept him, even though he's saying he's not for your cause, if he's still saying like certain things. And it's like interesting because GLAAD gave, even though slightly problematic, Katy Perry like gave her award for including what's called a kiss, what's called a kiss between two boys in a thing, and giving her an award
and fireworks.
Excellence.
She also has that song "You're So Gay."
Yeah, and then she had "You're So Gay" and "I Kissed a Girl" and like all these different other problematic things within her music sometimes. And they're giving her an acceptance awards with this, but then they gave Ender's Game. They read the Ender Game and said nothing's anti-homosexual. So it's just like interesting about how people play within the context and
right. And then there's like a difference between the artist being problematic and the art being problematic.
Yeah,
I feel like because I don't know, the new Star Trek film, which I really like the Star Trek reboot, but like. The actual movie of the Star Trek reboot is like a big problem in terms of like they whitewashed Benedict Cumberbatch's character Khan, and they like totally objectify women in a terrible way. It's blah blah blah, but like I don't know. It's hard. Yeah. I don't know where but I still love that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like.
And you're talking about Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah, Michael Fassbender
has had some links of some abuse. Or like battery charges against women, and so people but you're supporting him. And Gary Oldman has some charges against women, and then we were talking about I was talking about you separately about like Charlie Sheen has made a whole thing over abusing women and abusing abusing women and being crazy and being this and hashtag winning and hashtag tiger's blood, whatever shit,
and hashtag suck my cock.
Yeah, he has all this stuff, and he's made so much money off of it. And then let's say you have, there's a difference between like Chris Brown because he beat up someone, he abused someone that was in the public eye and who had a lot of, she was like her own but it's still not there's a
lot of nuance.
But like, how can like him make a whole industry and then everyone's still like with Chris Brown saying, you're a bad person, you beat people up, and they still keep going because there's some things that I do not like about Chris Brown that is besides the point about abuse, but the thing is they can still go in and still Twitter goes, well, at least I don't hit women, but then you're like, Charlie Sheen, you haven't resigned with what he's done, or you haven't
Twitter
seen
loves
other
Charlie
people,
Sheen
or they or other people who's done horrible things, but it's just still you Chris Brown is still trying to move on, and he's still trying to go, and he has a lot of problems himself, but he's still trying to move on, and he's trying to do stuff, and he's getting in his own troubles, but he's still trying to go, and everyone's like, we're still not going to forgive you for all these things.
Yeah, but it's difficult because it's not like I feel like Chris Brown deserves forgiveness, but there's a lot of nuances that go into it because there's definitely some racism at play there.
Yeah,
because people people still hate Chris Brown so much.
But like Charlie Sheen though,
Charlie
like
Sheen.
we love
or
you,
even
so
like
crazy.
Or like John Lennon
beat his wife,
and then
but
everyone
people-
hates Yoko Ono. Like, how does like everyone hate Yoko Ono so much? And they're like, she's the one who broke up the Beatles.
Right.
She's the one whose fault. And then she gets beat. Like, there's been abuse cases for like John Lennon, who's like said.
Yeah, and like people idolize John Lennon like hardcore, and like it's well known that he beat his first wife. I don't know that he beat Yoko Ono, but
whatever. But like,
and then there's definitely some racism and sexism against Yoko Ono, and
it's very hard, and if you don't want to see this movie or see things that are controversial, it's understandable, because I think that's when you have to realize you need to like not be so defensive, like, well, this is this and this and this, but you need to step back and say, okay, why would people not see this film, and why would people see this film disregarding like the things. I mean, it's a different reason than having, going to see this film because you want to support his anti-homosexual than just seeing this film because I loved the book when I was younger. It's a part of me. I just want to see it in film form.
Definitely. I would definitely say that you have to like kind of think to yourself about the difference between the artist and the art. You need to, even if you're having a lot of trouble with this movie, like you can't decide which side you're kind of on of the controversy, I would say like Google it. Look up more information.
Yeah, we'll put some links of some like of the controversy up on the
and if you're trying to decide what you want to do, I would say like Maya said, kind of step back from it, read a little bit more about the controversy, inform yourself, and then decide with yourself kind of how you want to separate out art from artists and
values and morals.
And your values and morals. And because it's interesting, because I'm definitely on the side of the controversy where I'm like, I don't want this dude to make money, but I also like the movie looks good, and like I wanted to see it, so it's like it's hard to kind of reconcile that sometimes.
And I think it's important to say, because I feel like we've been kind of like, give these people a break. I think it's important to say that I think it's good to be critical and evaluative of artists, and to pick apart what's wrong with it's good to pick apart what's problematic with these artists, with their work. That's how we can progress. That's how we change. I think it's good to acknowledge it and to talk about it. And to, like Abby said, look up these things, inform yourself, and be educated. But also don't feel terrible if you want to see the movie.
I know it's like hard, because it's like it's sometimes of a struggle, especially within like Tumblr and stuff like that I found out like certain things that artist or something that I like, and then the people have been like, you're wrong, this is this and this. And it's hard for me because I'm like, really, I love these artists, or I love this work, or and people say it's problematic, but then you have to just think about what is coming from the other side, and like you can ignore it, it's fine, ignore it, or you can just kind of say, you know what, I understand, but I'm going to love this piece anyway, and I'm going to recognize.
And also, it's just kind of like a thing, it's like you're allowed to love what you want to.
Don't let anybody take that.
But also think about maybe the people that you're offending. Think about the people you might be harassing.
But the thing is, like, if you love Ender's Game, like, you're allowed to. So don't think that just because there's a controversy and because maybe a man who made it is not the greatest person in the world, it doesn't mean you're not still allowed to love something. Not still allowed to love this piece of work if you've loved it, forever, or even if you're a fan that just started. But like, so just think about it, get informed, remember, like, know what you're supporting, know what you're not supporting.
Be true to yourself, follow your heart. All right, y'all, I'm on 5% battery. Okay. And we're recording my computer. Can we do a quick rundown of Oberlin events? We got Psycho is playing at the Apollo, midnight Friday.
I don't know anything going on.
Next weekend is Parents Weekend.
Parents Weekend next weekend. Call your parents.
My parents are coming
to town. Say hi to your friends' parents.
So
there's like a
bunch of different
things. There's some plays. I think there's the dance recital.
The opera's coming out.
Hansel and
Gretel. We don't have much movie news for you, but
no movie news.
What's coming to the Apollo?
Thor and Psycho on Friday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, because Anna's computer is dying, let's wrap it up.
Let's sign off.
I think it's because we've actually I think we're actually over time.
Yeah, we might be over time.
All right, well, I'm Abby.
I'm Anna.
I'm Maya.
This was Chipstick Flicks.
Episode 5.
What?
We out. To say we out, I think it helps us connect.